When you think of a caveman, you probably imagine a grunting figure struggling to survive against a saber-toothed tiger. But if you think ancient humans spent every waking second fighting for their lives, you are profoundly wrong. The truth is, once the hunt was over and the fire was lit, early humans were bored. And when humans get bored, they invent ways to be entertained. Our ancestors were not just survivors, they were the world's first gamers, storytellers, and athletes. Let's travel back to the Upper Paleolithic period, roughly 40,000 years ago. Life was brutal, yes, but it was also surprisingly social. Archaeological evidence suggests that our ancestors lived in groups that prioritized downtime as a way to build social cohesion. The oldest form of entertainment wasn't digital, it was performance. Imagine sitting in a pitch-black cave in France, deep within the Chauvet cave system. You are surrounded by flicking torchlight. You aren't just looking at paintings, you are experiencing a 3D animation. Because the artists used the natural bulges and contours of the cave walls, the flickering flames made the painted bison and lions appear to move. This was the prehistoric version of an IMAX theater. It was a sensory experience designed to transport the audience, to tell a story, and to create a collective myth. But they didn't just watch, they played. In 2008, archaeologists discovered a flute carved from the wing bone of a griffon vulture in the Holyfels cave in Germany. It's roughly 35,000 to 40,000 years old. This wasn't a tool for survival, it was a musical instrument. When you blow into a hollow bone, you create sound. When you drill holes into that bone, you create melody. This tells us that early humans weren't just thinking about food, they were thinking about art. Music was the background noise of the Paleolithic era. It was used to regulate the rhythm of the tribe, to dance, and to communicate complex emotions that language couldn't quite reach. If you think board games are a modern invention, you're missing out on 5,000 years of history. Look at the royal game of played in ancient Mesopotamia around 2600 BCE. It was a race game similar to modern backgammon, involving dice and wooden pieces. We know people loved it because we found boards in the royal tombs of but it goes even further back. Archaeologists have found gaming stones dating back to the Natufian culture in the Levant, nearly 10,000 years ago. Ancient humans were competitive. They played games of chance and strategy to pass the time during the long, cold winters. They carved pieces from stone, bone, and ivory. They wagered scraps of food or status within the tribe. The urge to win is an ancient human hardwiring. And then there was the ultimate entertainment, sports. We often think of the Olympics as an ancient Greek invention, starting in 776 BCE. But that was just the professionalization of something humans had been doing for millennia. Wrestling, sprinting, and throwing spears for distance were the original combat sports. Why run in a straight line for no reason? Because it's fun, because it proves you are faster than your rival, because it creates a spectacle. Even in the Neolithic era, physical prowess was the most valued social currency. If you could outrun the fastest hunter in the tribe, you were a hero. If you could wrestle the strongest warrior to the ground, you gained respect. These weren't just chores, they were events. They brought the entire community together to cheer, to scream, and to witness greatness. But what about the kids? In excavations in ancient Egypt, we've found limestone marbles, spinning tops, and even stuffed leather dolls stuffed with papyrus. Children in 2000 BCE played with balls made of reeds and string. They played leapfrog, tag, and hide and seek. Play isn't just a way to kill time, it is a biological imperative for learning. Through play, ancient children learned the physics of gravity, the mechanics of hand-eye coordination, and the social rules of the tribe. The entertainment of the past was defined by one thing: community. Today, entertainment is a solitary pursuit. We put on noise-canceling headphones, we scroll through feeds in silence, and we play games against faceless strangers on the other side of the planet. But for the vast majority of human history, entertainment was a group activity. It was firelight storytelling. It was group dancing. It was betting on who could throw a rock the furthest. We are a species that spent 99% of our history sitting in circles, looking at each other and sharing experiences. We evolved to be entertained by our own kind. We are hardwired to crave that collective resonance. The cave paintings were meant to be seen by the group. The flutes were meant to be heard by the group. The games were meant to be played with a rival sitting directly across from you. So, the next time you feel that itch to distract yourself, remember that your brain is following a very ancient script. You are looking for a connection. You are looking for a story. You are looking for the same thing that the person in that German cave was looking for 40,000 years ago. We haven't changed as much as we think. We just changed the medium. Is the modern world's move toward hyper-individualized entertainment a sign of progress, or are we slowly starving ourselves of the very thing that made us human in the first place? Maybe the next time you want to be entertained, you should skip the screen and find a circle. After all, that's where the fun started.